Continuing on with section 3.6, lines in the coordinate plane, we are going to take a look at point slope form. So we've spent the last few days talking about slope intercept form. That was y equals mx plus b. Now we're going to look at what's called point slope form. And what point slope form is just a different way of writing a linear equation. So this is point slope form right here. So make sure that you have this, write it down, because you're just going to plug numbers into it. So y minus y1 equals m times the quantity of x minus x1 is point slope form. M is the slope, and x1 and y1 is an ordered pair of any given point on that line. So we're not plugging it in where x and y are, we're plugging those numbers in where x1, x sub 1, and y sub 1 are. So for example 1, we're going to write the equation for the line with slope of 3 that passes through 2, 1 in point slope form. So the first thing I'm going to do is write the formula out. And then I'm going to plug in what I know. It says the slope was 3. So the m is going to be a 3. And then it's going through this point 2, 1. So that's an x. And that's y, because the first one is always x, and the second one's always y. So we're going to have y is 1, so we're going to have y minus 1, because the formula is minus. And then over here in parentheses, we're going to have x minus 2, since x1 is 2. And then that is our answer. That is in point slope form. Now, I do want to show you one more step. If you were to distribute that 3, you would have 3x minus 6 on that side. And then if you did one more step and you added 1, negative 6 plus 1 is a negative 5. We would be in mx plus b form. So they're not asking you to do that right now, but they're just asking you to put it in point slope form. So right here, this circled answer is all we need, but I wanted to show you that it is interchangeable. All right, example 2, write the equation for the line where the x-intercept is 2 and the y-intercept is 3 in point slope form. So now we're not given a slope, but we are given 2 points, because if you think about the x-intercept being at 2, so that means it's going to cross 2 on the x-axis. The ordered pair for that would be over 2 and up 0. And the y-intercept being at positive 3, that means we're going to go over 0 and up 3 for that point. So now we need to find the slope. So remember that y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1 is our slope formula. So that means we're going to do 3 minus 0 for the y's, and we're going to do 0 minus 2 for the x's. And when I simplify, I get negative 3 halves. So far, and our point slope form here is this. And then we just plug in. We just figured out that negative 3 halves was our slope. And then we can pick one of those 2 points. It does not matter which one we pick. I'm just going to pick 2, 0 because it's the first one. So we're going to have y minus 0 equals negative 3 halves times x minus 2. I can go one step farther because y minus 0 is just going to be y. So that would be the simplified version in point slope form. Okay, and we could have used the 0.03 and your equation would have looked a little bit different, but it would still be the same exact equation, same exact line if you were to graph it. All right, and then example 3, we're going to graph this line. So we need to take our information out of the equation. So in the m spot, I see is negative 2. And remember, we need a rise and a run, so I'm going to make that a fraction. And then we need an ordered pair. Our x is a 1, and our y, it says plus 3, but remember the formula is minus. So in order to turn it to a positive, we had to have plugged in a negative 3. So if I rewrite that, That's what it would have looked like in order to turn to y plus 3. Okay, because the formula says we have to minus. We have to use that subtraction sign. So the only way to turn it to a positive was to plug in a negative number. So that's how I know that that one is negative 3. So now I'm going to plot that point over 1 and down 3. Goes here. And our slope is negative 2. So down 2 and over 1. Now I could have gone the other way, up 2 and back 1. As long as going backwards, going left, takes care of that negative sign as well. So now I have 3 points that I can use to draw a straight line. And there is our graph for that equation.